77 points in the midweek games puts me high on confidence going into FPL Gameweek 22. Help me get this video to 1,000 likes and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. I'm recording this video on Thursday morning. I'm all out on 77 points from Gameweek 21. A bit disappointing again to not get a clean sheet from the defence, especially because I benched Konza's 9-pointer. Robinson with 2 assists managed 7. I think he's dropped out of the bonus points now, which is a bit frustrating. But Newcastle and Forest both kept clean sheets, which I didn't have a slice of, which is frustrating. My attacking returns from the defenders didn't come up. Gabriel should have had an assist. It didn't get given, then it got added on, then it got taken away again. So that was a frustrating one. Moving into the attack though, Anthony Gordon came in for Jota, so I didn't net any points there particularly. But Gordon is looking like a great pick going forward. I made the right decision to start Rodgers and bench Solanke, who scored an own goal for a 0-pointer. I ended up moving the captaincy from Isak to Palmer because I was just concerned about Isak's fitness, and I felt like, given that I was tripled up on the Newcastle attack, probably didn't need to captain him as well. I only missed out on 6 points there from that decision, so I kind of got away with that one. And having not gone Salah for the armband, that blank from him was absolutely huge and has definitely helped with the green arrow. So I'm currently at around 110k, but I know there's going to be a lot of owners of João Pedro, Ahmad and Bruno Fernandes on the Thursday evening games, which can certainly do some damage to the size of that green arrow. Transfer plans then, I've got 2 free transfers. I've got 0.7 million in the bank. At the moment, I'm a little bit torn in terms of what to do. Looking at my attack, Solanke feels like a little bit of a weak link in the side at the moment. He's only got the 1 attacking return in the last 4 game weeks, although the fixtures aren't too bad. Everton away, Leicester at home, Brentford away, Manchester United at home and Ipswich away. So not a bad run of fixtures. He did score in the reverse fixtures against both Manchester United and Brentford. So that's something to note there as well. I think my biggest concern is that Spurs have only scored 4 goals in the last 4 game weeks. And while they've been an exciting attack to own for the majority of the first half of the season, I'm not sure that's still the case. But whether Everton away is an exit point is another matter. I guess if I was looking for a replacement, the most obvious one to me right now is Liverpool's Cody Gakpo, who is a player who's in form. I'm quite impressed with his returns so far this season. And what was particularly telling for me this game week is that tough game away at Forest, probably one of Liverpool's toughest games of the season. He started that game and he played 90. He's absolutely nailed on that left-hand side now. He's got 3 goals and 1 assist in the last 4 game weeks. Liverpool are in fantastic form. Like, you look at their away form in particular, they've scored 15 goals in their last 4 away trips. They've got Brentford away next. Then it's Ipswich at home, Bournemouth away, Everton away. Obviously, the double game week 24 now confirmed as well. So Gakpo is a really interesting one. My reservations are that if I go Gakpo and then tripled up on Liverpool, and that would block me going for Arne Slot with the assistant manager chip, and I feel like 24 could be the time to deploy that chip. It would be playing safe going with Slot, but having used my triple captain, it feels like the play for that game week and beyond. So that's something I'm mulling over at the moment, whether that's the right decision or not. We'll have to see. But I do also own Trent, who I am probably looking to sell at some point anyway. I don't know whether it'll be nailed by the time we get to that double game week 24. Speaking of the defence, I am lacking clean sheets at the moment, and I look at the Newcastle defence and the Forest defence, who I think have both kept 4 clean sheets in their last 5 games. I currently don't have a slice of that. Instead, I'm doubled up on Arsenal. It's a frustrating one because I want to keep Gabriel, because I feel like Arsenal's attack is still looking good and Gabriel feels like a part of that. I don't really want to make a goalkeeper transfer, but I feel like I could upgrade Vandenberg to Murillo this week. I've got enough funds in the bank to do that. And that's tempting because Forest have Southampton at home this week, which feels like a great entry point. But I could just roll the transfer. So there's a few things going on in my mind at the moment. I think I'm leaning towards roll. because I'm not ready to lock in a decision on tripling up on Liverpool or going on a slot on the triple on the assistant manager chip. And I'm also feeling like having 3 free transfers for 23 is probably going to be a bit more powerful than only having 2. Here's how I'm planning to line up then for game week 22. The defence kind of picks itself. It is going to be double Arsenal defence at home to Aston Villa, which I feel like is a good fixture for them on paper. I think Aston Villa are struggling on the road. Then I've got Brentford away for Trent and Leicester away for Robinson. They feel like nice fixtures from an attacking perspective, even if they don't manage to keep a clean sheet. So Konza against Arsenal away is on the bench, as is Vandenberg for Liverpool at home. They're not going to offer me a lot, so I need to make sure that my backline does start. Moving into the attack, and it is going to be back into a 3-4-3 this week. I've got home games for Murphy and Gordon against Bournemouth. Palmer's at home to Wolves. Salah's against Brentford away. Rodgers is going to be on the bench for Arsenal away. And then some nice fixtures in the forward line. Wood at home to Southampton. Isak at home to Bournemouth. And Solanke away at Everton. I think because I've not got any real benching dilemmas and I've got some good fixtures in my attack, it feels hard to use a transfer. This is why I'm in the position where I am looking at rolling. Now, captaincy feels like a huge decision this week. I've got Isak at home to Bournemouth. Now, Isak is in fantastic form. Newcastle are in fantastic form. I think they've gone 8 or 9 games unbeaten now, and Isak's scored in all of them. Bournemouth at home, though, I mean, Newcastle are great at home. Like, you look at the amount of goals they've scored in the last 4 game weeks. Well, the last 4 games at home, I think it's 13. It is on, but Bournemouth are a good, solid team, particularly defensively. So maybe that fixture isn't as easy as it looks on paper. I do always come from the standpoint of I do have 3 Newcastle attackers. So it does take a lot to then think I'm going to captain Isak as well. Then we've got Salah away at Brentford. It's an away fixture. It is coloured red on the Premier League's FDR. I don't think it's as difficult as that. The Bees haven't kept a clean sheet at home this season. Salah's very good on the road, and Liverpool have scored 15 goals in the last 4 away trips. So they are an attack that really is firing. So the thing that I find with Salah is it was horrible not captaining him against Forest away. And yeah, he blanked in that game, but he could easily have had a hat-trick, and that would have really done some damage to my rank. So it is the safe pick to go with Salah. Then you look at Palmer. He's got the best fixture, beyond a doubt. Wolves at home is a great fixture. The reverse fixture ended 6-2, and Palmer got 1 goal and 3 assists. He's got 3 goals in his last form, so he is 4, so he is showing form. But I look at Chelsea, they've only scored 4 goals in their last 4 games. Palmer's scored 3 of those 4 goals. So he is absolutely dominant in the team, but he did get a heavy tackle early on against Bournemouth and then didn't really look as lively beyond that point. I don't think I can trust Chelsea enough to give Palmer the armband. I know it's Wolves at home, which is, you know, one of the best fixtures on the calendar this season. You look at Wolves and they've conceded 8 goals in their last 4 games. But I don't think I can come up with any good reason not to captain Salah. So I think I am just going to play safe and captain Salah. And I think I'm going to go Isak vice-captain as well. If you found this video useful, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and keep an eye on my scheduled live streams, because the press conference stream is going to be back on Friday at 1 o'clock, and then I'll also be going live for the deadline stream on Saturday at 10 AM with a big giveaway as well. You don't want to miss them. Thank you for watching.